Hi guys, my name is Roberto Valenzuela. I'm a Canon Explorer of Light, and today I'm here with B&H at Imaging USA, and I want to share with you 5 tips on how to get your photography, portrait photography, from here to a much higher caliber. How do you actually get to that point? So let's start. Tip number 1, try grabbing your lens and your camera and change the setup. Okay, choose another lens you would never think of when you're shooting a portrait. For example, try shooting with like a 15 to 35 instead of like a typical 70 to 100. That perspective will actually start changing your brain and the way your brain looks at an image, and it actually starts to awaken your neurons in your brain, getting out of that creative rut. So try grabbing a lens you would be like, no way I would touch that lens, and actually try to do an amazing photo shoot with it. Trust me, it really works. All right, guys, we're gonna move on to tip number 2. This one has to do with lighting. So even if you don't use flash, here's what I want you to do. Grab your flash or flashes or strobes and actually put them in a different function you normally wouldn't use. Again, it's all about getting out of that comfort zone that you're used to. So we all use TTL and manual, and that's our go-to, and we all use the same sort of modifiers. Change the modifiers. If you like soft, use hard modifiers now. If you like big modifiers for soft light, use small hard modifiers to give you a very strong shadow, very keen, very directional light. And then make it work. Make it work whatever it takes. Trust me, it's an amazing awakening of your brain. Okay, that was great. Let's move on to tip number 3, a very important tip. Get yourself out there and find some amazing education. When you learn from multiple amount of teachers or a variety of teachers, whether you do that genre or not, it sparks neurons all over your head, okay? It makes you feel like, I would never do that, but now I really want to try that. When you start doing this, you get out of your comfort zone. You make mistakes. And when you make mistakes, guess what happens? You learn from those mistakes right after that. So little by little, when you keep pushing yourself and finding good educators to learn from, you're gonna start to nitpick things from every single person that will influence your work completely and take you up to where you wanna be. The next tip, tip number 4, is one of my favorite tips because this one made a huge impact in my career, which is angles. Angles of everything, composition, the angle of your subject. Instead of photograph, I'm 6 feet tall, if your subject is 6 feet tall or 5 foot to 6 feet, you're always shooting a person in that range. So it gets boring. What about putting them on the floor or diagonal, or find props that change the way their bodies are positioned, and then as a photographer find compositional ways to make that position actually work. So work on your composition, but most importantly, remember this, change the angles that you're doing everything with. This whole standing in your normal height and photographing somebody at their normal height, that's like the definition of boring, okay? So if you want to get out of that creativity, I'm still shooting the same things I always do, then grab some weird stairs, chairs, whatever you can find, floor, and say to your subject, let's try something a little different. Let's put yourself in this position, even though it's not normal, and you'll probably be shocked to be like, what am I doing? Why is Roberto giving me this tip? The key is exercising, getting out of that comfort zone, okay? You want to get out of your norm. So put somebody in a different spot and then make it work with composition. Okay guys, the last tip and the most important tip of all 5 is, I know it sounds crazy, but this is really the top tip I can give you, which is deliberate practice of your equipment. The more you learn the technical side of your gear, your camera, the menus, the functions, its features, the focusing, everything that camera can do, like multiple exposures or whatever. This technique, this ability to be able to grab an idea and know exactly what you need to do to your flash or to your camera without even thinking, actually expands your creativity, because you're no longer consumed by, oh my God, how do I push this? Or what do I have to do here? Or what buttons am I supposed to push? Or I can't get it, forget it, I'm just gonna go back to the normal stuff. What you want is go home, get yourself a coffee table, a bottle of a good coffee, or wine if you're me, and grab your camera and come up with things and try to develop speed. I did this with my flashes all the time. I would have my flashes on the bag, I would take them out, turn them on, change the channel, change the group, and I would try to do a 3-flash setup, all 3 flashes at different powers, and I would time myself and see how fast I could do it. And when I went on the job and I had an idea, I was like, I know what I'm gonna do. Boom, 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 boom. I was able to just do it with my eyes closed, and that made my creativity explode. That is the best tip I can give you out of these 5 tips. Okay guys, my name is Roberto Valenzuela one more time. You can catch me at the Photo Creators Conference in Tucson, Arizona, where we're gonna have 8 amazing teachers at a dude ranch, all together having the most amazing experience possible. I'll be there teaching hands-on with everybody else. Check out the website. And also follow me on Instagram if you would like to see my crazy work that I do. And that's gonna be Roberto_photo. So I'll see you guys next time, and I hope you enjoy the 5 tips, and thank you to B&H for putting all this together.